Hey guys, I got a kind of a late start today, so I'm a little behind. I guess I'm not like behind. I've been doing stuff, but a little behind on my streaming. I planned on streaming a couple hours ago, but here we are. We're still here. Still gonna do some drawing. You're still here to watch me, and I'm sure more of you guys will join me shortly. So what we're doing today, I've just got commission to work on. I have about 2 billion commissions I got to get through. So I don't see why I'm still chatting here. I should get working. I guess what I really should be doing is inking on the right layer. There we go. So this commission is just going to be black and white. There's not going to be any color for this one. Which is fine by me. I have a bias towards black and white art, so I'm never sad when I just gotta create some cool black and white art. I'm doing this kind of werewolf-like character here, so this is gonna be a lot of fun to draw like the textures and stuff. So also, I don't know if you guys can hear in the background, but it is thundering like crazy out there. Sounds like a big storm's kind of rolling in. So if all of a sudden my stream just stops, it's probably because I lost power. Or even if I didn't lose power, maybe the internet might have gotten knocked out. So if just out of nowhere the stream just stops, that's why. Other than that, how's everyone else doing on this Saturday? It is Saturday, right? Has to be. My phone just buzzed, giving me a rain alert. Like I couldn't tell that it was going to be raining outside. Now, a tough thing I always have when I'm inking black and white is, especially characters that are black in color, like this wolf is going to be all black. Where do I draw the line with inking with black ink, and where do I use screen tones to show where the black is? And I don't always have the answer to that. But I do love drawing characters that are all colored black, as it gives me an excuse to draw some really great dark shadows. Just like every stream, if you guys have any questions about my process, what I'm thinking, why I'm doing something, how I'm doing something, don't be afraid to ask. I like talking to you guys. Alright, let's see how we're doing. That's looking pretty good so far. I think the real key for this piece is texture. Trying to contrast the relative smoothness of the armor with the rough furriness of the, well, fur. Man, my phone just really wants to let me know it's raining outside. Let's get a save. Let's get a sip of water. Now, even though the armor is relatively smoother than the fur, I still imagine the armor probably has like some dings and dents in it. So I still gotta put some texture in here. don't think it'd look as good if it was like this pristine, shiny armor and this rough, furry face. What do you guys think so far? You know what? Hold on, guys. Send a notification to some people. Alright, back to it. Now that you've watched me send out notifications live, I'm sure that was the most riveting Twitch TV that exists. I hate doing chains. Chains are such a pain in the neck. And I'm doing them easily. I wanted to get more detailed, man. It takes so much more time. I haven't lost power yet. That's good. Some of that thunder out there is really loud. I don't know if any of you guys can hear it. Not sure how good this mic is. I know it's good enough to pick me up pretty well, but I don't know if it picks up outside sounds at all. So good you can probably pick up my subtle hiccups. Oh no! Whoops. Jason. This is looking pretty cool, even if I do say so myself. Apparently I don't know how to drink coffee either. So how's everyone's Saturday treating them? It'll be pretty good if I can finish this commission today. By today I mean during the stream. I think this is looking pretty good. I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is putting in some screen tones in this as well. I might have mentioned that earlier, but I'm mentioning it again now. I think with such strong line art, I don't want to go overboard with the tones because I don't want it to overwhelm the lines, but I think putting in a little bit of a screen tone here and there will help bring out some of the form and help bring out some of the details, like the texture of the cloth versus the texture of the armor and all that stuff. mentioned this before in stream, but we've had a couple new people join us. Don't be afraid to, in the chat, ask any questions if you want to know anything. Anything that I'm doing here. Or if you just have some general questions. Or if you want to know what my favorite anime is. Because half the fun I like about streaming is I get to talk to you guys. You guys are so quiet today. Usually there's at least one person that I'm talking to in the chat. You guys are just either very shy or just full-on lurking mode. Oh, I guess I can see it. Let's see here. Let me refresh this. I was just saying how you guys are so quiet, but then someone just messaged me saying, asking if I can see the chat. So maybe... well, there are some of you guys talking in the chat. Why is that? I had to go to the outside stream here to see it. See, I'm just going to do a test here on my dashboard here. See, that showed up in the outside. Yep, that showed up there. Oh, yeah, now it's working. I don't know what was up with that. Sorry, I've been ignoring you guys. And here I thought just no one wanted to chat with me, and it was just an error on my side all along. Here, let me go back through here. Let's see. We got a big wolf. Rain. Save your work. I forgot that this was going to be a thing. I'm glad you did come by, Tanker. Doing multiple things. That's... so I don't even know if I'd call it a mistake. It was more like, for some reason, my chat just didn't want to, on my streaming dashboard, just didn't want to show me you guys. So, well, good. Now I can talk to you. I was getting lonely, just kind of sitting here by myself, or I thought I was by myself. So now that... so what do you think of this werewolf guy so far? I think, personally, I really like how I did his face. I love all the hatchings and texture in there. But I always love inking things like that. That's one of the reasons I love inking in general and just making black and white art. I like not having to do everything with a line and not so much with color. Sometimes I feel like color, it doesn't ruin it. That's a little harsh, but you lose some interesting way to portray textures when you're doing colors. That's why I'm a sucker for old school comics, is because all the coloring had to be done with flats. So the artists had to be really creative in how they drew the things to get the textures across properly. Yeah, screen tones. I can't wait to do them either. Let's see, how long have I been streaming? Where are we at here? Not even an hour yet. Whoops. We'll probably probably wait maybe an hour, maybe not a whole hour, probably 45. Oh, man, my brain's broken here. We'll probably go for another. In total, probably another hour and a half, probably. So probably in like 45 minutes, I'll probably start doing some screen turns, just so I can do them on stream. Or if I get everything inked in the next 45 minutes, then I'll just do the screen turns anyway, because that'll be the next step. You know, I do this all the time, and you would think by now I wouldn't make such silly mistakes like being on the wrong layer or picking the wrong color. But nope, doesn't matter how much I do this, I always make the same mistakes every time. There we go. There we go. Not sure if I had to refresh my browser. Not sure if I lost that chat again. It's kind of working. All right. All right, cool. See you there sideways. So, sideways, how far have you gotten in Evangelion? You know, I don't know what the last episode we watched together was. That's right, we did watch episode 1 twice. Glad you're enjoying it so much. Lily and I did a huge binge of it. We're on like episode 24 now. We only have like 2 episodes left. It gets pretty intense. And since we're at that hour mark, I want to encourage everyone watching who hasn't already, if you're liking my artwork, why not give it a follow? Give me a follow, I should say. Oh, and we have I added this new bar here at the top. Where is it? Probably like around this area. There, I gotta look at my broadcast screen so I know where I'm pointing. Yeah, like right here. If I can get up to 15 subscribers to celebrate, I'll do, instead of a drawing stream, I'll do a video game stream. I don't know what game exactly. I'm thinking maybe Spider-Man, the PS4 Spider-Man. But, you know, I can leave it up to you guys. You know, maybe I'll do some Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball Fighters game. Trying to think what other games I have that might be fun to stream. Maybe some Dragon's Crown. Recently bought that, the Dragon's Crown Pro. Maybe Nier Automata. I've had that game for a while and I've not had a chance to finish it yet. But anyway, it doesn't matter what game. I'll let you guys decide what game. But if I can get 15 subscribers, we will celebrate with that. The other bonus to getting 15 subscribers is I'll be able to add another emote. Like right now, this is the emote for subscribers for the tier 1, and this one's for tier 2. I haven't built the 3rd tier 1 yet. I gotta get on that. But if I can get 15 subscribers, I can add another emote there. So all subscribers will have access to even more emotes. So that's that. Alright, advertisement over. Back to drawing. So Sideways, you said that you're episode 9. So have you met Saska yet? Saska, am I saying that right? The pilot for EVA 2. and I cannot wait for you to get to the later episodes and things just go nuts. And when I say nuts, I mean like existential, like what is existence? Crazy. Gets nuts. How's everyone else doing? Oh, I have questions, and I've been watching it. I always have to pause and go, what did they just say? What does that mean? Doesn't make any sense. Then a few episodes later, something happens, you're like, oh, that makes a little bit more sense why they said that. It's looking good. Remember to save. Always save your work, people. Alright, I need some more music here. Hold on. I'm listening to some baby metal, in case you're wondering. And no, that's not metal for babies, that's the name of the band. So the more I'm looking at this, I'm not sure if I made this werewolf's head too big. No, I think it's alright. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe I just need to make his shoulders broader? I don't know. Yeah, hell yeah, baby metal. Do you have a favorite baby metal song there, Sideways? Is Distortion their new song? See, I haven't been keeping up with their new stuff. I'm gonna have to look that up later. My favorite song right now is that they do is called Line with the exclamation mark. I love that one because it has that rap breakdown in the middle, and I don't know what they're saying. I don't know Japanese, but it's so, the rap is so bad that I feel, and after the rap it goes to that heavy metal breakdown. I can't help but feel like they're making fun of songs that have rap breakdowns in the middle. Obviously, again, I don't know because I don't know Japanese, so I don't know what they're actually saying. But since that their rap is so bad and it's followed by that heavy metal breakdown, I just can't help but feel like they're kind of making fun of not rap itself, but pop songs that have the rap breakdown in the middle. I feel like they're making fun of that. But maybe they're not. What do I know? Maybe if someone knows, they can tell me in the chat here. Or leave a comment later. Oh, speaking of distortion, I do know distortion. It's playing right now. It just came up on my radio here. Gotta turn up a little. Not that you guys can hear it, but I can't hear what you guys hear either. So I guess it's fair that way. Oh, I like Papa. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, the chorus is really, really catchy. I mean, that's the kind of appeal to of baby metal, though. Their songs are very catchy. You'd never think like heavy metal would also be have kind of like that weird what are they called, earworm tendencies, but man, they pull it off. Tried Bandmade? Is that like a similar type of music. I've not heard of them before. That storm must have passed. I don't hear the thunder anymore. Oh, let's see. So bandmade, is it still like metal or is it like a different genre of music? They'll wrap my face up. Alright, I'll definitely check them out then. So I think I'm almost done inking our werewolf here. So I think what I'm going to do after, once I finish, I just gotta do his tail. I think I'll put some screen tones in, and then I'll move over to our lady over here. Typically, I like to ink the whole piece before I do any other stage. Like, I like to ink it all and then add tones or color or whatever. But for the sake of the stream, I think it'll be more interesting to do some tones next. think I'm calling him done. Or at least inking is done. What are your guys' thoughts? Because it's tough, because this, he looks fierce, so I'm glad you think so. Because in the reference material I got for him, he's a black wolf. So obviously I can't just make him black. I lose all my detail here. So I think... But even if I choose gray, I don't want to make the gray too dark. That'll overpower all my line work. Obviously, I don't want to do that. So I think I'm gonna... I don't even know if a medium gray is the right answer. Hop in a gray here and let's see what happens. Not that gray. Obviously his eyes are going to be white here. He has these scars too that are kind of around his mouth. I'm going to make those white as well. Maybe inside his ears too. Good. His armor is black as well. Now, I think since it's metal, I can probably get away with making it a bit of a darker tone. And then scratch in some highlights. looking okay so far. And I am out of water, I'm out of coffee, I'm out of everything. I might have to end the stream just so I can get a drink. It is hot today. I'm just sitting here like just sweating. Summers down here are the worst. You know what? I've invented a technique to help stay cool. It only really works inside where you have access to a freezer. And no, it's not just open up the freezer door and I'll let it blow its cold air on you. What you do is I always have my hat here, so I stick my hat in the freezer for a few minutes, and then when I pull it out, put it on, it keeps me cool for at least for a short time. I call it ice hat. So I might have to go put my hat in the freezer here in a little bit. Or I guess I could turn on the air conditioning. Brilliant. I thought so. I invented it where I teach. I don't have access to the thermostat, and sometimes they don't really turn on the air. Well, I mean, they turn on the air conditioning, but they usually have it at a pretty high temperature. They have it like set to like 78 or something. So, like, which is, I guess, reasonable if you're trying to keep your energy bill low. But when it's like 85 degrees outside and you go into 78 degrees, that doesn't really cool you down too much. So I put my hat in the freezer, and then once I start feeling hot, I take it out, put it on, and feel better. Ice hat. Hey, Rain Retribute, thanks for following. Hey, and look at that. We have a new stream boss. Sorry, Sideways, you've been dethroned. Rain Retribute is now the new stream boss. And if you guys want to become the new stream boss, following always does the job. Following knocks down the HP of the boss. Subscribing knocks down the HP of the boss. Donating. Both donating via the donate button or donating bits knock down the HP of the boss. If you deal a KO to the boss, you become the new boss. I'm sure I'm explaining this to people who already understand this. Should this isn't your first day on Twitch. But for those of you who don't know, yep, you're the new stream boss. Yeah, Sideways had been hanging on there with only 100 HP for a couple streams. And finally, you're able to knock him out. Feels good, yeah. And Sideways, you were the stream boss for a while. So, Rain Retribute, you might be the next boss for a while. I guess it really just boils down to how many followers and subscribers I get. You always feel not good enough mood to draw. Well, you know, the thing about drawing is that if you want to be creative, it is important to be in that kind of mindset. But you don't always have to be in a. You don't always have to be in a good mind frame, good creative mindset to practice drawing. Oops. So that, and I say that to kind of encourage you. Like, there are a lot of days where I just don't feel it in terms of like creativeness. I just can't get any good compositions. All the poses I try to draw are just crummy. Just not feeling it. But whenever that happens, then I just kind of decide, well, today's going to be a practice day. That way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I do good or not. I'm just practicing. So if everything I draw while I'm practicing is garbage, that's fine. It doesn't have to be good. I'm just practicing. So you should give up video games cold turkey. Man, I wish I had time for video games. I mean, I play a little bit, but my pleasure. I hope it helps. It's very easy, if you, even when you're a professional artist, to feel like you always have to be drawing something important or be creating something for something, like creating something that you're going to sell or publish or whatever. And I'm very guilty of that myself. But it is okay just to draw, to try to figure out things. I mean, just to practice and allow yourself the freedom to mess up and not be good. Yeah, I think you do. If you're new to me and my art, you probably don't know. I always have a saying, and that saying is always "Make comics, not excuses." So I've heard probably 100 billion reasons why someone can't make a comic, or you can insert any creative thing here: writing, story, animation, whatever. Oops. There's no reason why you can't. Now, all that being said, I'm not naive. I know there are sometimes reasons you can't make it as fast as you want. I know that firsthand. It's been like a year since I've made a comic. But I've been very slowly working on it. Just so slow. So there's still no excuse not to do it. You just have to be okay with the fact that it might not be as fast as you want it to be. And that's okay. You like that? I'm glad you like that. Alright, so we're almost done with the tones of our werewolf here, and I think once I finish that, I'll probably call this stream done. Because I'll need to take a short break and then before I get back to finishing this. So I'll probably, I don't know, 15, 20 more minutes, maybe up to a half hour more. We'll see how stuck I get. Whoops. There we go. Gotta keep those tones tight. It's your warrior's planning, structure of the story. You know what? That's an honest fear, but you know what? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about if you make a plot and then later on you look back on it and you don't like it. Every single comic is like that. If you read any comic series at all, you read the early stuff, it's never as good as the recent stuff. So yeah, don't let that stop you. Just do the best you can. This is the thing too. It's going to happen regardless. The more you write, the more you draw, the better you're going to get. It's just going to happen. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter how good you are when you start. You can be really, really good when you start, but you're still going to be better later on. So your early stories are always going to be worse, regardless. It doesn't even matter. So, yeah, don't let that stop you. Yeah, you got it. My pleasure. getting close to done here. I think I'm going to put in a couple shadow tones. I don't want to overdo it. And then I'm going to put some shine in his armor. And then I think that'll probably be it. What do you guys think so far? You'll give me credit in my future. Well, I appreciate that. I hope that gives you a... Hope you create something awesome now. And it's really true. Like, all my favorite shows, with some exceptions, the first season is always awful, comparatively. It's obviously good enough where I kept watching, but generally speaking, like, first season's always garbage, and then they get better. All right. Excellent. Glad you said that, because his face and his arms are my favorite parts too. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys actually a trick here. So if you're ever dealing with screen tones, it's something you don't really do traditionally too much anymore. So, sorry about that. So people don't really do screen tones traditionally too much anymore. It's mostly digital. Not that it doesn't exist traditionally anymore, it's just such a pain in the neck. Not a lot of people do it anymore. Anyway, so when you're doing this, you see I have the screen tone here. Now, if you look over on my right side of the screen here, you can see the number of screen frequency. That's how many dots there are in an area. The density is how big those dots are in that area. And the angle is the angle that the dots appear on. That's especially important for what we're about to do. So I want to layer another screen tone on top of this to create kind of a added shadow. Now, if you get two different screen dot, obviously I have to go darker. So if you have two dot patterns of two different densities, the dot sizes are going to be a little bit different, and it's going to create this kind of weird pattern. So when you zoom out, it's going to kind of mess with your eyes. It's not going to look really good. So what you want to do instead of a dot pattern, here, let me go the dot pattern. You see how that looks just very bad? So instead of a dot pattern, what I'm going to do is make it a line pattern. Now that already looks better, but it still does look funny. And that's because I need to match up the frequency here. So the frequency of lines is 25, where the dot pattern is 60. So I'm going to go to 60. So now all the lines are lined up with the dots. And this is why the angle is important. So the angle still has to be at 45. So that's there. So that's good. Like if I had the angle at another thing, it just won't line up quite right. So I have to make sure that the dot pattern is at the same angle. And now for density, the original density of the dots here were at 40%, so I need to have the density here over 40. So I might just do 50. So when I zoom out, I get that shadow pattern, but it won't really hurt When I say hurt, I mean more like interfere with the dot pattern I have already. So I'm gonna just put in some armor. I'm just gonna put in some shadows. Now I might end up kind of changing the density of this, because when I zoom in, it doesn't look very dark, but when I zoom out, it looks very dark. So I'm not sure quite what I want to do or how dark I want these tones yet. I might end up tweaking these after the stream, but regardless. Let's see. You've helped awaken my Super Saiyan form. Time to make comics. Awesome! What kind of comic are you going to make? Like the general genre. You don't have to tell me the story. But, you know, is it going to be superhero or fighting comic? Romance comic? Mystery? Horror? Oh, thanks for the host. Action superhero, mainly conspiracies. Interesting. Super Rama. I appreciate the host. I was going to stop this stream after I finished toning here, but now I can't. I'm being hosted. It'd be very rude of me. Lost young man finds a suit of armor and fights world governments alone at first. Interesting, okay. So kind of a sci-fi thriller kind of thing. Nah, not too tired yet. I've only been going for a couple hours. Thanks for the follow too, Super Rider. Chipping down on that. We got a new stream boss today. We have Green Retribution became the new stream boss. And now with more follows, we're already chipping away at their HP. If you guys don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but I'm going to say it anyway. You want to knock down HP and become the new stream boss. All you do is gotta follow, or you can subscribe, or you can donate bits, or donate via PayPal or whatever. I think it's PayPal. All those knock down HP. And if you defeat the stream boss, you become the stream boss. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, there's not too much left to do to this character. But because he's wearing shiny armor, I think what I want to do here is I'm going to switch my brush here to a scraping brush. I'm not exactly sure which one I want. Maybe a 90-degree brush. So, like in real life, I was talking about how people don't really do screen tones in real life anymore. Back in the day, when you used to do this in real life, you would do what's called tone scraping. So after you pasted the tones onto the page, you'd literally take your X-Acto blade and scrape away some of the tone to get kind of a gradient or kind of a lighter tone within it. So to simulate that, you kind of go to the negative brush here, or the transparency brush, and you just kind of kind of scrape away where you want the highlight to be. I'm going to actually do this in kind of 2 stages. This one just kind of scrape away where I want the shine to be. But the thing about metal is what makes it look shiny is contrast. So doing kind of like a light scraping doesn't really put in a lot of contrast. So what I'm going to do just right there in a second. See, what I really like about this is it really looks like I kind of scraped it away. If you zoom in real close, you can kind of see it. It really gives the feeling that it's been scraped. I don't know, I like that look. It was like the gritty look of old traditional stylings. All right, I'll see ya. Thanks for the host. Thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you soon. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is kind of create a hard edge here. A hard edge reflection, I should say. So when I zoom out, hopefully now the armor is starting to look shiny. What do you guys think? Looks like shiny armor now. Since I've taken the time to put in like some shadows and highlights, what do you think about doing it in our wolf's face here? I hesitate putting too much detail in there. I don't want to overdo it. What are you guys' thoughts? How about dents in his armor? I guess I could put some dents in there. Where's his face? I mean, I know where his face is. I meant the layer to the right toned his face. So let's create a new layer here. Let's try putting in just some shadow tones and just see how it looks. It's not so bad. This armor here. What we'll do is we're gonna switch, put some pock marks in his armor. I don't feel like doing that manually because that's gonna take forever. So what I'm gonna do here is kind of hit it with a little bit of a density of low. subtle, but it gives a little bit of texture. I think that's pretty good. But let's add my favorite texture in here, though. Yeah, the armor could have some chipped off or missing pieces, but the reference I have didn't really show any major parts of the armor looking like that. So to stay faithful to the client's original design, I'm not going to do that. But my favorite texture is fingerprints. So I'm going to put some fingerprints on them. It's up a little bit so it stays. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the stuff. I don't really have the story. I was simply commissioned to draw it, so client. They sent me a little bit about the characters, but they didn't go crazy in depth. I usually ask that they. Unless I'm doing sequential art, like comics, that they don't bog me down with a lot of backstory, because I don't need it to draw the characters. I just need to know what the characters look like and maybe just a little bit about their personality, just so I know if I draw them like smiling, if that's like way out of character, that they never smile, or if I draw them being kind of like silly, if that's out of character, or even sometimes drawing them looking angry or badass is out of character. So I need to know just a little bit so I can draw them in an appropriate pose and give them a appropriate like facial expression and all that stuff. So yeah, other than that, I don't really know too much about these characters. I'm just drawing them the way I was asked to. All right. So with that, I think, how long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours? You know, I think this is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm calling our werewolf boy here all done. So it's almost 6. So I think what I'm going to do is switch over back to inking, like my traditional. I say traditional. It's not traditional. Just our ink lines. I'm just going to ink our wolf lady here until about 6, and then I think at 6 o'clock I'm going to call it done. I'm kind of like how that our werewolf looks, so I kind of want to like looking at it. I still need to ink her, so. I don't know if other people do that. Yeah, I hope to see you next time. Probably my next stream will be Tuesday, I think. So, if you're going to be around, I would love to have you visit. And thanks for following. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Yep, Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday evening. I don't know exactly when. Usually it's around 8:45, but it might be a little bit later this week. But if you follow me and get notifications, you'll get notified when I go live. Ooh, hear that thunder again. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call this stream done. I think I need a short break. So, I think with that, I'm going to thank everyone who stopped by, took the time. Oh, Jambo Cricket followed me. I totally missed that. Thanks for following. Anyway, speaking of following, if you guys enjoyed my work, enjoyed this stream, please give it a follow. If you want to go a little above and beyond, feel free to subscribe, donate. You know, I got a Patreon. I got all that stuff. All that stuff does help support me and my art. So it's always appreciated. It literally helps keep the lights on. So yeah, do that. Yeah, thank you guys. Like I said, my next stream is going to be Tuesday. I know on the schedule it says I do go on about 8:45. I think it might be a little bit later this week if I do it at all. I've had some little extra responsibilities they've had to be taken care of, so it's kind of been throwing me off. Anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling now. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for following. Thanks for spending some time with me, so I'm not feel so lonely drawing. And I'll see you guys soon. So let's just switch over here. Let's go to my outro here. And as always, I want to thank my patrons. You guys really make this stuff possible. I would, who knows where I'd be if I didn't have you guys. So thank you to Angers McBeard, Anthony Docimo, Brian Gilbert, Brooke Clayton, Charles Pinn, DevDuck01, Elizabeth, Lawrence Winston, Lily Avonlea, Red Blaze, Matt Powell, MC McClure, Quixie Kilks, Seth Talley, Shadow Macer 66, Taylor Winesti, Tony Timonin, Zerial, Chickadee, Doug Hogan. You guys are awesome. I feel like I'm missing a name here. I'm going to have to go through this. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. I'll go back through my list. I feel like I'm missing someone. Anyway, that's a problem for future shot. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys very soon. And have a great rest of your Saturday.